What's up, everybody, and welcome to the e-bike experience. I'm Jason Hall with Ride Detroit. Welcome to 2022. Happy New Year, everybody. It is that time. It is almost spring, believe it or not. Just because it was like 5 degrees the other day doesn't mean the clock isn't ticking, because today it's like 35. So what you don't want to do is get caught slipping when spring rolls around. So I am excited about today's bike review because it is easily one of the biggest changes I've seen in a bike in the last couple of years. I think there's a couple things that play into that. I think one of them is the fact that they're trying to make something that is more appealing to the price point. A lot of e-bikes, you're looking at $3,000 or $4,000. This one hits you right in around $1,600, which is amazing. And what they've done to change this bike is they've really taken the last model, and we're talking about the Electra Townie 7D. Last year's model, in my opinion, it was really more of a bike that they changed into an e-bike. They really wanted to, once again, get something out to the market that people would understand and could be affordable and could relate to. Because if you look at a lot of e-bikes, there's a lot of technical stuff going on. But this bike was really one of the ones that truly looked just like a bike. So what they really did is, in the previous 7D with that, you had this rear rack and you had a rear rack battery. What they've really done is change some things up, and I'm going to get into the whole thing right about now. Okay, so first thing when you're talking about the new Townie 7D is a lot of the, let's get the stuff out of the way that is sort of the same. You know, you're talking about wheel size, same as the last 7D, which is fine. You're looking at a 27.5, which is a great size tire. Derailleur, you're not looking at really any real changes there. You're looking at your 7-speed derailleur. You're still got your disc brakes over here. All the like basic stuff that you really saw in the 7D stayed the same, but where it really made changes is now when you get into the previous model. Like I said, it had that rear rack and a rear mount battery, where now they've gone with the 250 watt internal integrated battery. That is huge. I mean, so first off, you're changing sort of the weight of the bike. If you know anything about the 7D, because you had that battery on that rear rack, it kind of made a weird sort of sway to it that you had to get used to. Now that they've moved that and gotten rid of all that and centered that weight with the battery, it changes the ride of this bike dramatically. So once again, you're staying within the same price point of $1,600, but now you're getting all kinds of new cool bells and whistles. Another cool thing about this is it's got a completely different battery connection right here. The old battery connection had this like 3-prong, kind of like, once again, really basic feeling connection. Now you move to a different connection that just locks right in to your frame, which is awesome. Another thing that weirded me out right out about this, when I put it together, usually a bike has keys. And so I was looking all over for the keys, like, where are they? But guess what? You don't need a key because the battery doesn't leave the bike. Now, I'll be honest, like, as a person who builds bikes and works a little bit on bikes, I was a little weird about having the internal battery inside there. But then once I did a little research, you know, it's not like any other e-bike where accessing the battery is literally just dropping the crank out. And I know it sounds like I'm saying just drop the crank out, but for a shop like us, dropping the crank out is rather normal for this type of bike. This bike, you're looking at a range of 16 to 40 miles. This bike isn't made for that person who's really commuting for long distances, but realistically, 16 to 40 miles is more than enough range if you're working in the suburbs from the city and back and forth, because you can definitely charge up. Charging time on this, they say, is about 2 hours. So once you run this thing down, you know, if you're not constantly charging from 0 to 100, that is not bad at all for 2 hours. You could really grab lunch, go see a movie, and come out and your battery would be completely charged up. It's a class 1, you're looking at 20 miles an hour. The battery on this, what's cool about this is the battery still has a 2-year warranty on this. A lot of times when you see sometimes anything other than a Bosch, which has a longer life on it, you're like, wow, you're looking at a year. This one's gonna give you 2. And then what's cool is we offer a care package package that you can actually purchase that would actually elongate, stretch that out to 3 years. So if you came by, we could talk about that. Once again, the biggest change on this is you're looking at your 250 watt internal battery. I mean, you've also got a little bit different interface. You've got 3 levels on this on your LED. If you know the other one, once again, it was really basic because what they were doing is really trying to just get that bike out there. They really did a good job of really taking this one and kind of stripping it down, and I think really listening to people and making the changes that the people wanted in this. Because also in the other one, they did kind of start to stretch colors later in the season, but they really come out with a really exciting line of colors. Another cool thing is it still has the mounts. So for your rear rack, if you wanted to mount a rack, now, once again, it's easier to make the bike yours. As before, you had that mounted rack that was rather, not even rather, it was permanent, that lived on the back. Now you can go rackless or throw whatever type of rack you want on there. Once again, the Townie 7D, one of my favorite bikes for 2022, one of the best upgrades that I've seen. If you want to talk about even more upgrades, then I'll do another video on the 8D, which is kind of the step up from this, and we'll talk about how they added fenders and other things. But once again, if you're trying to get in on the base level with a great bike right now for about $1,600, you're talking about the Townie 7D. Come by the shop, check it out. If you're not, go by your local shop and check it out. Anybody who sells Electra Townie should be getting their stuff in right now. It is very important, once again, that you shop at your local shop or shop with us, because shopping with us keeps the doors open, and if we keep the doors open, we can service the community, and that's important for us. So remember to shop local, and remember also, we need you guys. We do these videos because we want to hopefully give you as much information as we can, so when you come into the shop, you know as much, so you don't have to spend as much time talking about the bike. We can really get you on it, get you fit, and get you out the door. That's why we do these. We don't just do them to sell them. I understand that in these days it's a little bit different method of how we do things. So once again, we want to give you as much information so when you come in, you don't have to ask like what tire size and all that. All that's offered up in this video. If there's anything out there that you think that we should review, please send us that information in the comments. If there's anything we could do different about our video, please also leave that in the comments. And it also helps us out a lot. It's just a small click. Click that subscription button so we can add you. It helps us out a lot. We're trying to get to 1,000 viewers, and we're almost to about 400. So every little bit helps. Talk to you soon. I'm Jason Hall with Ride Detroit.